Right, folks, we're nearing the end of our first season with Bayern Munich now, and I need to know two things from you down in the comments. Thing number one, do you want to see a second season of Bayern Munich? And thing number two, how are you getting on in your saves now? The beta's been out, 5 days? Is it at this point? Let me know how you're enjoying it down below, and who you're managing, where you got to, all that kind of stuff. I'm interested. I want to know what you're up to. Hello and welcome to part 8 of my Football Manager 2019 playthrough with Bayern Munich. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Bundesliga game away against Hannover, a very important Bundesliga game as well, as we try and secure our Bundesliga title, and also a second leg of a Champions League quarter-final against Shakhtar. The draw was very kind to us and we did win the first leg 2-0, and it was a very comfortable 2-0 away from home as well. If we just have a little look at that first leg, it was never really in any kind of doubt, although we left the goals very, very late. We were very, very comfortable in the game. You can see that we've controlled the ball for almost the entire game, played our defensive system, a 4-4-1-1. We did just go there with a view to not losing the game, and then late on we won the game, which is pretty much perfect, if you ask me. Bundesliga-wise, there's very few games left now. Is it 5 games left? We're 2 points clear, but with a game in hand. And that game is the game we play right now. So we could end up 5 points clear of Dortmund with 4 games left, which would be a very nice position to be in. This is the team that we're putting out there to try and achieve exactly that. We've got Neuer in goal, a back four of Boateng, because we have no other left back, so Boateng's playing left back for us. Sul, Hummels and Rafinha. Goretzka and Paqueta are in midfield, with Lewandowski up front, and a midfield 3 of Koeman, Wolf and Muller. Can't you see that we're rotating quite a bit, trying to save ourselves for the Champions League? As much as I want to win the Bundesliga, if you were going to offer me one, I'd want to win the Champions League, and I think we should. This is a team, there you go, press conference mode engaged. This is a team that should be capable of beating Hannover. So let's assertively say, yeah, there you go. Let's just go out there and win the match. We want to win the match. We're in good form again, slowly. We're 4th on the form table, that said. So we are slowly starting to recapture some form. And we want form, we want momentum. We want to wrap up the Bundesliga before what I'm going to assume will be a Champions League semi-final, unless we completely implode in the second leg, which is going to be coming up in the second half of this episode. But it would be very nice before we have to play in that semi-final, especially if it's against someone good. It would be nice to have already won our domestic league so that we can then put our entire focus on winning a Champions League in our first season as well, which would be entirely unheard of for me in my entire history of playing Football Manager. 25 plus years of playing football management games. I've never gone straight into it first season and won the Champions League. So, and I always do my beta save of a big club as well. It's not like, well, yeah, you are with Bayern Munich, Kev. Yeah. But in the past, I've been Tottenham, I've been Liverpool, I've been Arsenal, I'm Chelsea over in the other save on this channel at the moment. I've been Monaco, I've done Milan, I've done Real Madrid, Barcelona previous to YouTube. I've managed a lot of big clubs, Manchester United offline as well. I never got and won the Champions League in my first season, so I will be justifiably proud if we manage to pull it off. And we have just put ourselves 1-0 up in this game as well to get us one step closer to a Bundesliga win in our first save of FM19. Ooh, I'm excited. I did ask you before the video started, do you want to see a second season? And I think probably my answer would be, if we win everything, what's the point? If we don't, then we do one more season and make sure we do go and win everything, because we're good enough to, and we're probably going to have a big bunch of money to spend in the summer again. So if we do slip up at the final hurdle in either or both of the competitions, I'd like to think we're going to be able to go out and strengthen appropriately to go on and win them next year. So I think it would be wrong to leave this save without winning the big one, surely. Plus, first Champions League win. It'd be lovely to have my first Champions League win before the main game's even out. Oh, it'd be delightful. Muller gets his 10th goal of the season to put us 2-0 up on the 19-minute mark, and that league table is looking very satisfying at the moment, and we are currently on, bearing in mind we're 2-0 up and it's nearly 20 minutes into the game, more than 70% possession, and Hannover have not had a shot yet. We are being absolutely ruthless and dominant. That's just how I like it. And I tell you what, this is a good team playing very, very well again all of a sudden. I don't know what that little wobble of form was around the Real Madrid game. I speculate on this every year, and I've never thought to ask when I've been in contact with the guys at Sports Interactive. I've never thought to ask them, is it actually something that happens? Is it something that's factored into account? Is it that when you've got a big match on the horizon, your focus goes on that and you stop doing as well in the other games around it? Because it always seems to be the way. Get a big match like the Real Madrid match we had, and we were rubbish for the 5 games leading up to that, but then we had a big result against Real Madrid and it's turned our form around, and suddenly we look like a brilliant side again. We look like the team that went 15 games unbeaten earlier in the season. So hopefully it was just a wobble from that, and that's partly why I want to wrap the league up as early as possible, because if we get Barcelona or, I don't know, Manchester City or somebody in the next round of the competition, somebody good, then I don't want us to then go and lose 3 Bundesliga games again and end up both getting knocked out of the Champions League by a better team than us, and also because we were focused on that, messing up and not winning the league either. If we bottle both of these competitions now, then it'll be almost as embarrassing as the time I got sacked by Liverpool during the beta. We're 3-1 up though, and that is a lovely little bit of corner routine. Big deep corner in swinger to Sewell, who nods it down to Hummels, and Hummels puts us 3-1 up. And this is it. I mean, it's a good corner. Look at that. Perfect corner. Good header from Sewell. Considering it's a man who never trains, just can't be bothered with it, can he? He can certainly nod a corner down nicely. And hopefully, I don't really know how we let Hannover in to score their 1 goal when we were as dominant as we were, but hopefully we can go on and just put this game to bed before half-time. Now, another goal before half-time, and it's all over. And Hummels does it was Sewell actually intercepting, and Sewell again. I tell you what, he's had quite a good game. He is young, he does have potential. I just wish he trained a little bit harder. That's the only thing I've got against him. Goretzka now in a little bit of pocket of space finds Wolf, and then Paqueta over to Goretzka again. There's a lot of space over on that right-hand side for Rafinha, who has agreed to join Lazio in the summer. So fullbacks are definitely an area we're going to have to strengthen. That's a lovely finish from Wolf. I think that's his first goal for us. It says 12th goal of the season. But remember, he was scoring for fun down in our B team. It's one of the reasons we called him up into the main squad, because he was playing so well down in our B team after joining us in the summer. And I'm fairly sure that's his first goal for the first team. And it's a lovely finish as well. One touch and onto the other foot and just sticks it into the far bottom corner. He looks like he fits in, but definitely fullbacks are an area we need to strengthen. Once you get past Alaba and Kimmich, especially with Rafinha leaving, we don't really have anybody. So we probably need to go out and buy, if we do continue for another season, 2 good fullbacks. And probably maybe 2 good fullbacks and a backup goalkeeper. And I don't necessarily think we need anything else. I am pleased with your performance. They're pleased that I'm pleased. Somebody had an injury there and I didn't actually take any notice of it. So I need to double check who that was and probably take him off with the Champions League game in mind, especially because it's Hummels. In fact, we're going to make that substitution right now. There's no reason to leave him on the pitch when we're 4 goals to the good. We'll bring Tolisso on, who can play at left back, and just stick Boateng back into the middle where he's supposed to be. Muller's now picked up a knock as well, and we do have plenty of players who can come on for Muller. We'll give it another 5 minutes or so, because he's not actually showing as injured. He's just, his condition has shot down all of a sudden. Maybe he's just a little bit out of breath, because his condition is slowly creeping back up again now, so I guess he's just taken a little knock. But I think we'll give it maybe 5 minutes and then bring somebody on for him. I mean, you could pick from anyone from 5 there. Any one of those can come on for Muller. But I think we'll probably bring Forsberg on and maybe swap those 2 over. Yeah, we'll swap those 2 over. That looks a bit better. We could have just as easily brought Gnabry on there as well, but I spent a lot of money on Forsberg, whereas Gnabry was already here. So it's my incentive to make sure Forsberg looks good. Equally, I spent money on Werner, so that's why he comes on to hopefully continue. Who's injured? Oh, Paqueta's injured, so we can't actually bring Werner on. So we'll bring Renato Sanchez on in midfield, swap those 2 over, and Werner is just going to sit on the bench. After all that, now what? I just made that change. They've not fixed that then. That little glitch has been in place for the last 10 years. Somebody fix it, blimey. Right, Boateng. Over to Rafinha. Goretzka. We've slowed the play down quite a lot here, which I guess is fair enough. In fact, in the circumstances, in the interest of preserving energy, we should probably tell them just to drop off the pace a little bit, but I'm not going to do it mid-move because I don't really want to pause it, but at the same time, I don't want to miss out on us grabbing another goal here, and it's with Coman, and he's just going to keep running, and there you go, he's fired high and wide, and we're just going to switch to tactic 2, which drops Forsberg and Coman back a little bit, but other than that, just takes the gegenpress off and allows us to slow things down a little bit. We just soak up pressure, and then we will still counter-attack with pace if we need to, but we're not going to constantly run ourselves into the ground when there's just no reason to at this point in the game, especially because Hannover are being very rough. There's a bit of a sandwich situation going on there with Coman, but we have won the game, and we will say, yeah, there you go, well done. We're in the Champions League next season once again, which is delightful. But the important thing is, with 4 games to go, with 5 points clear, and we've all but won the Bundesliga as well. And now we need to firstly make sure we don't mess this stuff up. Okay, and budgets for next year. Oh, maybe I do want another season regardless. So, changes for the Champions League game against Shakhtar then. Rafinha moves across to left back. Kimmich comes back in at right back. We've still got the injury to Alaba, plus Hummels is now injured as well. So it's going to be Saul and Boateng together at the back. Thiago still not available for selection either. So we're going with Goretzka and Tolisso in midfield, and then Lewandowski in front of Forsberg, Rodriguez and Coman. We have plenty of options on the bench to come on if need be. And really, I don't want to say it should be a formality because it's a Champions League quarter-final. We will do the semi-final at the end of the episode as well. But we're 2-0 up from the first leg, and they had nothing to offer in that first leg. We should just be able to get things wrapped up. We should be able to wrap things up in the first half. And yeah, we've got 2 away goals, and Shakhtar were rubbish. I don't really know how they made it to the quarter-final. They must just have had a nice easy draw throughout the competition so far. I'm reassured by the fact that the other quarter-final going on now is Lyon against Juventus as well, because I've got to think we are capable of beating both Lyon and Juventus. It would be interesting to see who's on the other half of the draw. And Rodriguez, his 24th goal of the season from midfield, and how many of them have been beautiful free kicks just like that one. And it's just a thing of beauty. If you're not watching the Chelsea series as well, I urge you to watch the Chelsea series as well. But in the Chelsea episode earlier today, we had some pretty special free kicks from that same spot. Left-footers, left-backs particularly, sticking them into the top corner from there. But my word, James Rodriguez does it better than anybody. And that was a lovely free kick. And we're just completely in control of this game. And there's Saul, but he actually gets tackled. I don't know where our left back is. Rafinha is supposed to be playing left back, but it was kind of marking the wrong guy there. And it left a big gap. It hasn't really caused a problem because Kimmich intercepts. And it's now with Coman. Lewandowski is very, very deep. But Coman crosses towards Goretzka, who's pushed on from midfield. And there's Rodriguez again. There's number 25. It's 2-0 on the night. 4-0 on aggregate. And we're in the semi-final of the Champions League, boys and girls, because this has been yet more dominance from a very, very, very good Bayern Munich team. A team that isn't really used. Robben and Ribery, we've already talked about Rafinha moving on. We're getting rid of all the old men. Rafinha has already agreed to leave. Robben and Ribery, I've already told them both they're not getting their contracts renewed. They're not even on the bench for this match. We don't miss them when they're not fit, so we'll be moving them on. So there's going to be a whole bunch of wage budget to play with next summer. Exciting times ahead for Bayern Munich as we look to build a younger, fitter team to go and dominate Europe for years to come. That being said, we probably shouldn't be conceding that goal. Let's not get too complacent. I'm already making holiday plans for a trip to presumably go and play Juventus, because they look like they're going to be taking care of Lyon. Tolisso plays it into Kimmich. Can we get a cross in? He does, and I don't even know who that was. Was it Coman? Coman still got it. He still has it. And that was a bit of a scramble there, but I think we've won a corner off of it. Have we won a corner? We have. And that's James to take, and the corner comes across. What a corner it is! Properly whipped in-swinger, and Saul can't quite direct it goalwards. And Kimmich, there was a bit of a 50-50 going on there, and I think Kimmich was actually fouled, but the highlight ends. And we just need to tell these lads to settle down a little bit, because it all got a little bit frantic at the end of that second half. Bearing in mind, we're already well ahead in the tie. So let's stay calm. Don't get complacent. We just need to make sure we don't mess this up. Because I don't know if these players have it in them to mess this up. I absolutely have it in me to mess this up. I've been down that road many times before. We need to keep pressing. We need to keep the game under control. And if they score again, we're going to go counter-attacking and just defend. Right, Rafinha gets a tackle in. This is going to be his last big chance to win something with Bayern Munich. He's going to want to put in a performance. And, I mean, realistically, if once Alba's fit again, he is dropping back out the side. So Rafinha is making an argument for playing further on in the tournament. Kimmich doesn't quite get onto the goal kick. It was a really poor goal kick from Neuer, and we put ourselves under pressure with it again, and that is just very, very poor all round. It was a poor goal kick, it was poor defending, and it's 2-2 on the night. Still 4-2 on aggregate, but there's still half an hour to go in this game, and we need to make sure that we don't let Shakhtar back into this tie, because if we throw this away from here, yikes. Apologies for that. Stupid phone. Right, you need to tell me, on iOS, why is it when you put Do Not Disturb on your phone, to stop yourself being disturbed when you're making a video, why is it that if people just ring you like 3 times, it disturbs you anyway? There must be, if there's a way to turn that setting off, let me know down in the comments. I don't want to have to put airplane mode on, because I'll forget to turn it off again afterwards. But if I put Do Not Disturb on my phone, I want it to be impossible for me to be disturbed. There must be a way to do that in the settings. Let me know down in the comments. But I thought we'd got our third there. We need to get focused on this game, and I think we need to make some changes and get some fresh faces onto the pitch, because we're in very real danger of messing this up. Let's get Werner on. Let's get Muller on. And you know what? Let's get Gnabry on as well. An entirely different front three. Because James has played brilliant. No one else looks like they're trying to score goals. And at least these 3, maybe they're not as good as the 3 they've replaced, but they're 3 players who hopefully have a point to prove and are trying to win places in the side for the next round. And a screamer from Werner or Muller, it goes a long way towards getting them into the team for the next game. We cannot lose this match. Even if we end up winning the tie, I'm not losing 3-2 at home to Shakhtar. That's ridiculous. They were rubbish in the first leg. They've only had 4 shots in this entire game. They're literally just destroying us with counter-attacking play. Gnabry now running in. I mean, there's no one trying to stop him. And there's Werner, hits the post. Why couldn't he just finish it? I just want another goal. I want to win the game, not just the tie. We're trying to build momentum. We're trying to build confidence. A draw at home against Shakhtar does neither of those things. Tolisso on the edge of the area wins the ball back. James James is still out there, and there's Muller, and Muller should have finished, but it's a lovely tackle from whoever that was. I don't care who it was. I think we're through, but goodness me, if we made hard work of it in this second half. And it's back out to James again. I think he was offside, but it's not been given. Boateng, and if he'd have stuck that in the top corner, it would have been lovely. I'm actually going to be quite critical of them there, because I think that was a really poor performance in the second half. Assertive. We did get away with it today. There you go. And it's fired them up as well, because we can't play like that again this season, or else we're going to mess something up. Right. Now we're going to have the semi-final draw. Here we go then. Champions League semi-final draw. It's us, Juventus, Manchester United and Valencia. This feels winnable, unless Cristiano Ronaldo's name is on the trophy and he's going to win it like a 4th year in a row. I think we can win this. It would be nice to get Valencia in the semi-final. So there's us, and we will play. Come on, Valencia. I guess we're going to find out if Ronaldo's name's on the trophy. Valencia against Man United will be the other semi-final. And I guess we will do... It depends how the Bundesliga goes. We might do both legs of Juventus in the next episode, although we might actually break it up, because we might be able to win the Bundesliga there. In which case, we'll do it as 2 separate parts. And then the final as a final part for the week. Maybe, if we get to the final. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.